Today we're going to pick it up from where we left off yesterday, and we're going to finish the major part of this sif, Reish Samach Gimel Sif Yud. Very relevant ideas, halachas about lighting candles. We discussed about extinguishing the match after you light. So it's very interesting because we know what the Ramah says in Sif Hay about covering the face that a woman, Ashkenazi women, light, cover their eyes, close their eyes. Then they say the beracha, then they open their eyes, uncover their eyes with their hands, and get pleasure from the candle. However, from the simple reading of the Ramah and Sif Yud, and the fact that the Shulchan Aruch doesn't mention anything, it's implied that women would accept lighting, like the simple explanation of the opinion of the Bahag, which is when they're actually lighting, not when they actually say the bracha. As it seems like. So the idea is that this is also according to the Ramah. Earlier in Sifei, it seems like the Ramah would hold this way. The women accept when they light. However, even so, so the idea over here is that women, simple explanation of the Ramah, is that women accept when they light. This is even according to the Ramah in Sifei, that says that the custom is for women to recite the beracha after they light. And seemingly the reason for this is that there is a concern that maybe a woman would accept Shabbos when she's at a beracha. But when she's done lighting, that's when Shabbos begins. Now, based on this, is a custom for women not to extinguish the match that they light with. They just leave it, put it down on a tray, and then it goes out on its own. Before we go to the next section, which is very relevant, speak out what it says in this footnote over here, 296. On Yom Tov, for those who have the custom to say the beracha before lighting, which is seemingly what we should be doing, the mother of the Drisha, according to everyone, it would be prohibited to extinguish the match. Because said the beracha, and then you light. So now it's definitely Yom Tov according to all opinions, because that's the Bahag. You already said the beracha and you already lit. So in order that a person won't err and stumble on Yom Tov and extinguish the match, a woman should always be careful, even on Shabbos, not to extinguish the match. Women have to be careful as well, not to carry the matchbox after lighting, or she is a stucco box. She gives the custom to give charity by lighting time. You have to be careful not to do that after you light, because they accept Yom Tov upon themselves. Especially if you're going to do it between the lighting and the beracha. That could very well constitute as a halachic interruption. So that's a very important over there. When it said in Shulchan Aruch and Sif Yud, quoting the Shibuli Haleket, Mashlichos la'aretz apsila, you throw the match to the floor. The idea over there means gently. You don't want it to be a psik ratio then now you're going to cause it to get extinguished by throwing it down. Based on this, we could discuss a very important question that very few know the answer to. Let's say a person finished lighting and something got extinguished. So what's the halacha in that case?
Something got extinguished?
Yeah. Let's say you lit 6 wicks with oil. One of the wicks got extinguished. You finished lighting everything.
Finish lighting, you accept the Shabbos.
Yeah, talk about a woman. Except when she lights.
I guess that's a problem.
She says the beracha. So it says over here she shouldn't light it herself. Where did that go? Rather, she should ask someone else to light it. And let's say everything was extinguished. She should ask someone else to light it. She shouldn't light it herself because we're worried that after she lit, even though it's before the beracha, she accepted Shabbos on herself. However, since we find that some argue on this and hold that according to our custom that we do say the beracha after we light, aka the women, as long as she didn't begin the beracha, the recitation of the beracha, she didn't accept Shabbos, and therefore, those who have the custom to extinguish the match after they light and before the beracha, and similarly to rekindle the wicks that went out, as long as she did not recite the beracha, certainly it has who to rely on. Certainly what to rely on in that case. Different opinions about this. According to the first opinion, she shouldn't light it herself if you want to cover all bases. Gotta warn the women about this. If the reason why it extinguished is because it wasn't lit in an area that was fit for the wicks to continue being aflame and lit, or just the wick didn't catch enough fire and then it went out quickly after, that's as if you didn't light it at all, and therefore it's permissible to relight it herself according to everyone.
Even with just one light?
Because the question is, if the other ones were lit properly, then obviously this wouldn't apply. However, if it was an area that was windy, then it would apply. And that's the next idea. Let's say the wicks weren't made properly, or the oil is an inferior oil, or if it was lit in a place where there's a tremendous amount of wind, and it was most likely that it would get extinguished. It's actually considered as if she didn't light it at all. Like we find by Hilchos Chanukah, actually. Let's say
Is there
she lit,
what are
then
putting
recited the beracha, and then it went out. Everything was extinguished. Let's say it was from the wicks. Let's say it was from the oil that went out. It was an extenuating circumstance. It fell. Unexpected wind. She should not light it again. Because she already accepted Shabbos when she recited the beracha. She's not allowed to light it again. She should ask someone else to light it.
Even if there's nobody else in the house, or she has just little children, then she's stuck.
Yeah. She's stuck. She's got to find someone.
It's not as if she missed lighting, right? That she had that,
Yeah.
knas that she believed.
Yeah. Now, if they extinguished, you'd make the beracha again because it really didn't count. They weren't lit long enough. She's got to find someone to light it. Just gotta quickly
You gotta
find
find a goy to light it.
except Shabbos here. Just gotta flag down a man. Anyone.
It's so easy.
It's not so easy if you're in North Dakota. Population 2. Obviously not 2, but over here it's easy.
He's got little kids in the house, get to go out of the house and
Yeah,
alone.
yeah, you gotta bring them out. You gotta, yeah. This is a serious thing. Same
So what
regardless.
time?
If you're in an area that's very concentrated, for example, for alcohol, right? So easy to find people.
Well, I don't
If
walk
you're in
down the
an
street.
area that the houses are bigger, so you're further away from people. So probably those areas people have, yeah, they have cleaning help, they have whatever. You could flag someone down, you could knock on neighbors' doors that you know are home.
So it's
Ask them to come
before
over if it's before,
being
even if it's after, sunset.
you can still ask a guy.
We learned, yeah. Shabbos b'makom mitzvah, bein hashmashos, we learned.
Right.
That was the Mishnah Berurah over in Sefei, that long Mishnah Berurah, right?
To what time? Till Banish Mashos?
No, 300. Shlomo Zalman Auerbach wants to say, on the contrary, if you extinguish the match after you light and before you say the beracha, aka a woman, you're showing you don't want to accept Shabbos until the beracha. It's a little controversial based on what we learned, but interesting. Apparently, in the Sefer Darchei Chaim Ve'Shalom, says over there that some would continue lighting even after the bracha. Sarachin Gadol. That requires a tremendous amount of research. What's going on over there? It's a little bizarre. Yesterday we saw Lamed Beis, so we don't need to do it again. No, up until this point, we've been learning that men go like the Bahag. Women go like Taisus and the Rosh. I'm all compromised between the two opinions over here. Right. So men, we accept Shabbos when we go to shul. Right? Mizmor Shil Yom HaShabbos. What? Yeah. Women accept Shabbos when they light. Or say the beracha, whole discussion. Why? Why is it different for a man and a woman? When we go to shul to accept Shabbos and to daven Maariv, we have the explicit intent to only accept Shabbos when we go to shul. Consequently, if a man lights Shabbos near Shabbos every single week, lights the wick, oil, he would not accept Shabbos when he lights. It's known, we do it in shul. Points out in the footnote that women accept Shabbos when they light, even if she's not married. And even if she doesn't light on a weekly basis. Regarding young girls, young women, they're before the age of Bas Mitzvah, 11 or younger. Some want to say that their Kabbalah Shabbos is Medin Neder. It's like a vow. But the problem is that when you're that young, you can't really halachically make a vow. But over here, Lav bar nedarim ninhu, achocha ma'isav muchichim. Over here, their actions are demonstrating that this is how they go, that they're going to accept Shabbos. So therefore, medin chinuch, akopalim medin chinuch v'adei royu l'lamdim shemakabel Shabbos. From a educational perspective, it's certainly fitting to teach them to accept Shabbos when they like it. So it also applied by girls who accepted Shabbos verbally. Nevertheless, the Mishnah Berurah concluded by saying that it's best for them to make a condition. In other words, to worry about those who are stringent. Just talking about if a man lights, you should still make a condition he's not going to accept Shabbos with the lighting. It's a stringency. This is talking about when you daven mincha. Because if you didn't daven mincha, you had anan sahadi shim b'daisel kabbalah Shabbos. For sure, you're not going to accept Shabbos before mincha.
That's why
Similarly, if something happened, you're compelled, you must do malacha, something you're not allowed to do on Shabbos after you light. So you could continue doing that as long as you didn't have explicit intent to accept Shabbos. As we saw yesterday, though, you really should be davening mincha beforehand. Anyways,
What was the reason for that again? Why should you daven mincha by mincha gedola?
who a male? Because the Tartei Desatri. Right? That was the Tehillah David that we saw yesterday. It could be because you're lighting, but the lighting is showing that it's part of the next day.
They just said like a low plug that men always accept when there's no shear. No, there's a known fact.
They do, but the lighting is part of the previous day, not right now. Here, look over here. Kasatil David Juadin Gametalisha Madlak Afapisha Mutter B'Malachas Acher Adlaka. Nachon she's Bal Mincha Til Ma'acher Shigam Sarach LeKabbalat Mashabes Soch Rev Shah Mesa Adlaka. He's gonna have to accept Shabbos shortly after he lights. And it's really not halachically preferable for him to light, which is really part of the next day, and then shortly thereafter do something from the previous day. And so, yeah, that's what he says. Yeah, Shulchan Aruch Rav explains it more. He says, Ayin Sham, look over there. It's going to get discussed more in Sif Tezvav later on. Because the rest of the Siman after the Sif really deals with accepting Shabbos. Kind of has to do with Siman Reish Samach Aleph, which we have to come back to because we skipped that important Siman. It's not so long. A couple pages in the Mishnah Berurah, not like this Siman. All right, so look. That is basically, the majority of a boatload of information that was in my brain that I had to share on Sif Yod, and also that I had to write it down. I think writing is very tedious, but also therapeutic, so to say. I don't know, that's just my personal experience. It's just, when I say therapeutic, I mean it's satisfying and calming after you do it. You just feel good. You feel like, wow, now I really understand the subject that was being discussed. It's all organized. It's so easy now, and I remember it better. It's very special when you write it. I'm sure everyone here has written things before. You know what I'm talking about to some degree. But especially on a topic like this is already the 5th session we're having on this Sif. I'm not even done with the Sif. So it's just, it's a special thing to have it written. If you look actually at the rest of the Sif, this is the rest of the Sif, Sif Yod. It's just a short Ramah over here. He's going to talk about where you light a little bit and about lighting it and then relocating when you lit, picking it up and then moving it. Could that be done? Shabbos, Yom Tov. So that's going to basically be the topic over here. Lako is a mitzvah, Hanacha is a mitzvah, which really overlaps the halachas of Ner Shabbos, of Ner Chanukah, excuse me, which those topics in Shas are in Shabbos on Chav Beis, Chav Gimel. I don't know if we're going to get to that this year, But so we have this left
When
in
do,
Sif Yud. What?
when we're speaking about, moving the licht, when after you light, you put, tzedaka down, if you want, in a situation where you have to move it, like in the sukkah, or you're cleaning the table. We didn't speak about that yet, did we?
That's going to be the continuation of this Sif.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to learn about. And basically, after we finish this Sif, you should know we really finished all of the halachas of Ner Shabbos, because the rest of it's going to talk about accepting Shabbos. So we
Mhm.
really, I mean, if you could just think right now of any topic that we didn't cover, you can't think of any because we covered it. Unless you're going to say the type of oil and wicks we should use, but that's the next simon. That's simon Reish Samachdal, which in my personal opinion is more boring. I think what we learned is very exciting, but I think
We
everyone here realized that. But most people, they don't give it a chance, and they don't even allow themselves to learn these halachas properly. They just don't,
we
and
spoke about we spoke about
they
how, yeah.
keep. And yeah, what?
No, wait, and about every nair, the two narrows have to be the same size, and everything else doesn't. Do they have to be the same size or no? I
No, we
forgot.
didn't see anything about size. That's okay. They don't have to be. But
The
the custom is, you know,
if
I'm
you're
just
at
trying.
no, but if you're adding a candle, we spoke about adding, and we spoke about, does that candle have this? Does that nair have to be the
No,
same size or no?
no, it's all
But
custom.
it has to be the same burn. It has to be the same burn time, though, or the same.
No,
No.
no. Um, I'm just saying is that, people, they don't really give these halachas a chance. They think that it's boring, it doesn't apply to them, whatever reason it is, it's easy, there's nothing to learn about. You know, look, all of us, we sat through all of this and patiently went through it, dissected it. I shared a lot of these ideas with other people, and one of my chavros, I shared these ideas, and people have no clue anything about these halachas, and you start sharing them, like, oh my gosh, like that's amazing, that's so much information. When actually, how do you remember all this stuff? When you learn it properly, when you learn it slowly, when you don't rush, that's how you remember it. You write it down, you take notes, you go through it again and again, and you prepare it, you say it over, you remember the stuff, you remember the material. But memory is a gift we can't take for granted, and that's just basically the point to say that people underestimate the importance of these halachas. Number one, and number two, how enjoyable they truly are. So, all right, next time we're gonna do the sifyud. That's it, the rest of it. All right.